I want to first acknowledge that Zoom fatigue is real. We all feel exhausted by these Zoom meetings. So we're communicating in this class primarily online, in an online environment. 80% of what you're going to be doing is completely what we call asynchronous, which means you do it on your own in your own time. If you want to do it in your bunny slippers at 2 in the morning, no problem. But we also have an option to do this over Zoom. So I'm giving you 3 different options for Zoom. We're going to have a group activity, a following meeting that we're going to have on the informative speeches, and then you will be giving your persuasive speeches. If you can't make those Zoom meetings, and I have sign-up dates that I'll show you in a minute, you can do it on your own. But we will be in Zoom. And even if you aren't doing Zoom for this class, it's a part of what communicating is all about. So I'm going to just say, acknowledge that Zoom is biologically challenging. It's physically exhausting to sit in one spot. It's mentally exhausting to stare at a camera, you know, when you've got all these external influences. And it's hard to stay engaged and focused. We have home distractions, we've got video distractions. You might be distracted by what's behind me or what's behind you. And so that makes Zoom calls feel very long. So there's some things we can do to help that. The first thing I'm going to do is say that we have to acknowledge the constraints of Zoom. Eye contact is weird. All right. So what I mean by that is I'm going to now take a look at one of the people in the Zoom room right now. And it's going to look like I'm not looking at them because the camera is right here. So when you're delivering over Zoom, it's important that you look at the camera every once in a while so that people feel that you are listening to them. And that means situating the camera in a way that is easier for people to see, right? So you might need to move your images of the people that you're looking at so that it's closer to the camera, or you need to maybe move your camera, right? That could be another thing. So just something to think about. The other thing you need to recognize is that Zoom will feel choppy. It just will. Because we've got people who are muted, we've got people who need to pause to unmute. If I ask a question for people to interact, I have to give extra time. So transitions will feel choppy. So what does that mean for this class? That means that in this class, when you end a speech, you might need to leave a good 10, 15 seconds of awkward silence at the end of a speech before the next thing happens, and that's okay. It doesn't feel as awkward or weird to everyone else as it does to you, and it's just part of the modality. It's just something we have to realize with this channel. What does that mean for Zoom or for you using Zoom in other settings? You know, more people have been introduced, and I'm using the word Zoom to mean any video conferencing, but it means that people who become comfortable in this kind of medium become comfortable with these awkward moments, realizing it's not them, it's the medium. And becoming more comfortable with that means that opportunities will open up for you. They really will. Whoops, I just lost that picture, but you saw a flash picture of the Zoom background. Okay, so with that picture that I just flashed that just appeared, I had a picture of myself with this bookcase, right? People love to look at people's bookcases. The background, what's in your frame, like right now you can kind of see what's framed, right? If I had situated myself slightly differently, and I'll just move my camera, right? And I had it like this, you might be a little distracted by all the junk that I've got in my background, right? So you might just think about how are you framing, what's in your frame is what people see, right? And so I want you to be careful about how you frame yourself. Sometimes people join meetings looking a little bit like a character in one of those cartoons where you barely see them. So, you know, try to be in the middle. Try to recognize that if you don't want people to see what's behind you, you can put on virtual backgrounds. Virtual backgrounds are great ways to kind of keep some privacy and to soothe other people. I love nature scenes. They make people very relaxed. So you'll often see me join these meetings with different nature scenes. This is one of my favorites. Water is just very relaxing. So it's nice to have different scenes for you to think about, or if you want, you can blur your background. But I encourage you to play around with these kinds of virtual backgrounds to think about when you're giving your speeches. If you find a virtual background that has something to do with what you're talking about, that's kind of fun, right? So if I'm giving a speech about my favorite science fiction show, I might have the TARDIS and my Doctor Who mug as my visual aids, right? If that were my informative speech, 50, 75 years of Doctor Who. So these are things we get to play around with in Zoom, and I encourage you to do it. So some do's and don'ts. I kind of already went over some of these, but please make sure you have enough lighting if you're recording a video, right? So when you come give your speech, please make sure, don't do this, right? On the other hand, make sure the lighting source is best if it is in front of you instead of behind you. You don't really want to be backlit. You also don't want to look like an Addams Family walk-on, like I do here, these crazy eyebrows. You want to make sure you're in the frame, right? Don't, make your camera be like this where I can see your hat. You want to make sure you are framed appropriately. So, I think this would be an appropriate frame. I've got good lighting. It's in front of me. There are some interesting, stuffed animals. Maybe they make people feel more comfortable because they got the fun look or whatever. So this is okay. But those are the kinds of things you need to think about in terms of framing. All right. Make sure you have enough lighting. Make sure it's not in front, too much in behind you, because then that's backlit, so forth and so on. And don't worry, trust me, I will give you feedback on those issues as they arise. Zoom content, we want to make sure that it's not too long. We want to make sure that we do frequent check-ins. Be prepared for silence. And one of the things I'm going to encourage you to do when you're giving your speeches is think about ways to maybe engage people with the chat, right? So like you could have, as your attention getter, you could ask someone to write something in the chat, or you could use a poll, right? Those are all different things to think about.